Hey folks, welcome back to Held Captive Media. If you're familiar with that music, you might remember it from a different podcast we used to do with our buddy CL, who's still one of the best. You guys should go check out his channel. He does Critical Role reviews as well as his music, and he's still out there doing stuff. He's just a very busy guy. But on this channel, we decided since we're doing movies, we should try to dive into TV. And it's a very weird one to start with. We're starting with a reality show, but going in the future, we'll be doing things like Breaking Bad and other more drama-based, more, I guess, I don't want to say elevated because some people might have really enjoyed the show, but just different kinds of TV shows will come from this as well. So this is kind of like a new series. And the way it works is everybody here is forced to watch the pilot. Forced might be a little extreme for some people, might be totally accurate for others. And we review the pilot. So if you don't want spoilers specifically for the pilot of the show we're reviewing, which is Snowflake Mountain, then go watch the pilot, come back and get our thoughts. And then after we're done giving our review of the pilot, as well as telling you whether we'd keep watching based on the pilot itself, we're going to get into spoilers for the overall show. So those timestamps will be listed below. You can click away if you only wanted to hear about the pilot and then watch the show. Or if you just wanted to listen to us talk about it ad nauseum, you can watch the whole thing. Now, Zane, what the fuck is Snowflake Mountain?
So Snowflake Mountain it's one of those fucking just ridiculous, like, trash TV version, like, true blue reality TV shows. And you just follow, it's all of these like 20-somethings that have been tricked into their parents have found that they're a little bit too spoiled or what have you. So all of these kids think that they're about to go to some like fancy resort and they're going to be on like some other like cool like dating show or something else like that. And they're all like getting ready. They're going through the mountains and everything when they drop the bomb on them. No, your parents think you're spoiled. We're going to try to teach you some life lessons.
There's another show that I feel this show ripped off, right? It's called Kid Nation. I don't know if anybody out there's seen it, but it's about a bunch of children who are forced to live on their own in a fake prospector town where they deal with their own chores and deviate their own currency in order to be adults.
And cook their own chicken.
Which is dangerous. Now... This show is kind of the adult version of that, and I'm telling you, if I was stuck alone on a desert island, I'd rather have the Kid Nation kids with me, personally. I just want to give a quick thought on the pilot for me. What is the name of the girl? I'm forgetting right now. What is the name of the girl that I just think is, like, the hottest?
Deandra.
I am telling you right now, my celebrity crush, dude. Listen, Franny, you're my sweet waifu and everything.
I know.
But if she came to the door, there'd be no, I'm just kidding. But no, seriously though, she's so fucking charismatic. I love her as a character. There's a couple of people in there as they're like a little wacky. They're kind of characters in their own aspect, even though these are really who they are. And for that, I do have a fear that the show might be a little scripted. In fact, maybe more so than we realize, and that always makes me feel icky when it comes to TV. But it is reality TV, so I liked in the pilot. I guess we can just dive straight into the pilot. Do you guys have anything you wanted to add to what I just said before we kind of like dig into the pilot? Or
I do feel like all of them, like they're all such loud personalities, and it is something that especially during this first episode, like watching them all step on out, like, and just exist. It's like, no, people like that they're not real. They're not. And then I was like, oh wait, no, like none of them are having to work. None of them are having to do anything. It's because they got rich parents. They're able to just kind of like,
and that's
do
very real.
Crazy shit.
Yeah.
And
that
it's
shit's
like,
real.
It's like, oh, they can exist because they don't have to do anything. And it's like, oh.
It's kind of like if there was a reality show with a bunch of different people who are Chet Hanks. You know, it's got that same vibe. But the difference is I actually did kind of grow to like certain characters over others. But yeah, you do have to kind of go into it and realize, like, you have to accept that these characters are what they are, or these people, I guess you could say. And
it's funny because, like, when they're
I just
interviewing
don't
the parents,
sometimes.
when they're interviewing the parents, a lot of the parents are very aware that, like, they fucked up.
Yeah. And that was the thing I was going to get to. It feels like the parents did a shitty job of raising these children, and then were like, I fucking hate you for it, and like hate fucked them with this reality show, when in reality therapy could have been really great.
Yeah.
You know, like that could have done, you didn't have to go have them wipe their asses with maple leaves. You could have just fucking.
And it's like they're not even. It's not even. They don't even go that hard with them.
Let's talk about the pilot before we get into the harshness, right?
No, yeah,
but
let's
yeah,
talk about the pilot.
You're exactly right. So the pilot starts out, from what I remember, is it's all these like, you know, zillennials, if you will, and they're talking about like, I'm here because I'm bad and bougie, and like I have money, and that's fucking hot, and like that's kind of the vibe of everybody. And at first I'm just like, oh fuck, here we go. But then these guys show up, and it turns out that their parents kind of bamboozled them, like you talked about. And then the first thing they do, which is very cop energy, to be honest with you, and I don't really like those guys as much as other people do. They're fine, but they have cop energy. Let's be honest.
And say definitely.
We know how they voted, so that always bothers me. But I do have to say, the moment where they blew up all their shit was like so uncalled for and unnecessary. Like, couldn't they have just locked it up? Like, you don't even know what mementos are in those bags. Like, you don't know exactly what's in. It could actually be something meaningful in their luggage, and you just blew that shit up. I get the point that it's trying to make, but you could have just as easily been like, you will not receive this stuff back, and also if you leave early, you'll never get it back. That would have been way more dramatic for me. But instead, they just blew it up and then made fun of them to their face. I did like when that rich girl was crying, though. That was very exciting.
Yeah. No, and that's one of those things that there's some of that stuff that like when they're doing it, you're sitting there and watching it, and you're like, that feels so hammed up.
Yeah, everything in it feels very scripted in a way.
It's like, I know there are parts that feel very genuine, that feel very like natural to the characters.
That's it. We can't even stop calling them characters because they're just so.
Their personalities are so ridiculous,
you know.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean it can't be true. It could very well be true.
I feel like people like that definitely exist.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like these people are being like that different than like how they are.
It's less so that I'm not calling them characters to say that they're putting on a front or anything.
Yeah.
I'm calling them characters as in the way that like whenever people see me, they're like, that's a character. Like he's a lot to deal with. Mm-hmm. But it's like
they're obnoxious. Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, they're just a fucking dummy. They're just running around acting a fool. And they're all that personality, and you just shove them together and you put them in front of cameras, and they're just doing ridiculous shit. And
they're gonna ham it up.
Yeah, it's all like them blowing up the thing. Like almost immediately when I'm watching that, I'm like, okay, but like I didn't think that they blew them up. I was like, I don't buy that. Like they probably got some like replacement shit. And I was like,
I don't know, man. The tears at times seem kind of real to me.
I don't think that they didn't tell them. I think that they were getting genuine reactions from the kids, like from the people. But like, I'm like, I don't believe that they actually went through and just destroyed a bunch of their shit.
I mean,
then they've got to sign releases. They got to do a whole bunch of other shit.
They have to sign releases to be there anyway.
No, like
they could have just handed them a stack of papers. Do you think these people are going to read them?
I'm saying that if they ended up getting like, if somebody tried to sue them over it or something, they're like, I don't want to have to deal with the headache of at the end of all this. Like
those guys are like, you can't sue me. I live in the woods.
Yeah. And it's like when they're all packing up the bags and everything, and they're like, now you only get to have what's in that bags. I call bullshit. Cause I'm like, you know that they packed shit to be in a resort, and they're in cold weather mountains. It's like they didn't just let them not have anything. Like they probably provided other clothes for them that just weren't their fancy clothes. It's like some of that shit, like blowing them up. Like you only get what's in your bag. Like no, as far as personal effects, probably, but otherwise, I'm like shit like that. It was like that feels a little hammed, but they're trying to go for shock factor, and that's to be expected in a reality show.
For me, I felt like more of the scripted moments were like when, and yet again, I don't know if this is really scripted or not. It could be totally legit.
No.
I'm just speaking, like, I think it's so absurd at times that if it's not scripted, it's really good TV. So you can take that as you want it, but that's how I feel about it. I think one of the moments that just came off really like insane to me was when they all went and got food, like from that like weird area, and then they decided to keep them secret, like hide some of them, and then all that whole group kind of just like agreed to go along with that. That didn't feel very real to me.
No.
Like, I just feel like people are snitches.
Yeah, and
for
it's
sure.
like, why?
Yeah, it didn't, and why do it? That's another thing. It didn't even feel like effectively selfish. Like, it just felt like a strange thing to do.
Yeah.
That made everyone hate that character.
Exactly.
That guy, I should say.
I don't know. That felt real.
I'm not saying it couldn't be real. I'm just saying it was kind of
My big
extreme.
thing, everybody in that group was like, no, we shouldn't do that. And then
Then he just said, we're gonna, and they're like, all right.
yeah, I was like,
That's
like,
when I was shocked
why?
by it.
Yeah.
And it's like they didn't want they didn't want you to hate all the characters. They were creating a villain. That's what it seemed like to me. And that could just be because if you watch a reality show, the editing is so intense on those, and they make things seem such a certain way. I mean, if you really watched like the tapes of Jersey Shore, it's an incredibly boring experience.
Yeah.
Things are edited and hammed up, and I feel like that's definitely a part of this. And you know, I like the premise in theory. I do think the guys have cop energy though, and it makes me feel weird.
It's definitely,
and like when they have weird reactions to like them being like one of the guys
keep in
being
mind,
like,
Logan didn't watch the whole show.
I'm talking about the pilot.
we're just talking about the pilot.
I know.
Yeah.
We can talk about the show more
I
in
know.
a
We'll talk
second.
about the show in a minute.
But I'm
yeah.
talking about the pilot. Like, for instance, the guys had weird reactions to someone being like, where can I find, like a guy being like, I'm going to wear some mascara. Their reactions were like kind of weird about it. And it's like, why are you weird? Like, you eat bugs and shit. Why are you fucking weirded out by that? Like, why don't you mind your own business? In that respect, it just felt like cop energy. Now, the moments I loved is when they were forced to do things and they were just like bumbling fucking morons who couldn't do it. That's when the content was the best.
Exactly. And that's kind of
And
one
that's
of the things,
premise of the show. For
the
the most
fact
part.
that it's called Snowflake Mountain, instantly it's like cop energy. It's like, it's one of those things where
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly. Cop
yeah,
energy. I'm not lost here. I really feel like that was so like
it's one of those
MAGA
things that,
forward.
Yeah, it's definitely it's that like boomer mindset of like, oh, look at these millennials, these Gen Z millennials who can't figure anything out. Like, no, they're so dumb they can't start a fire. It's like, okay, build your own Facebook. Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, tell me how to sign up for TikTok, asshole. Like,
Yeah,
like,
and it's like these kids
it's
are
like-
not exactly innovators anyway, and we that's kind of the whole reason why I think the show can work.
yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you clearly have weird energy about the fact that they're just young people who are different than you.
Yeah.
Than you, like when you are weird about the mascara, you just come off like a douche.
But then there
you
is
know? Like you're a
also-
little douchey.
There
for
is
that.
also shit where it's like the fucking girl where they bring them to this camp and it's a fucking beautiful.
This is the first episode, right? I'm just making
Yeah,
sure. yeah. You're right.
I think the camp, they show the camp in the first episode, and the girl from Ohio, I can't even remember her name because she's in the show for 5 fucking seconds, and she gets there. They've got like these nice tents set up, these proper little outhouses and everything. Like, they've even got little shower areas. Like, yeah, you got to bring your own water over there or whatever, but still, like, it's a nice little campsite with like a proper
Definitely.
kitchen and everything. And she's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. As soon as they were like, we're not gonna keep you against your will, she's like, and goodbye. Like, instantly she cut herself out. And it's like, that's such a, like, if you look at it, it's just a picturesque nature scene. There's like cute goats running around.
I will
and
say
shit.
this: they Kid Nationed her in the sense that they waited for her ass to say she wanted to leave before they introduced the reason to stay.
yeah.
That is so fucked up to me. Imagine her being at home, right?
Which I don't think they actually introduced the reason to stay until episode 2.
No, it's at the end of the first episode.
Do they? Okay, yeah.
It's for $50,000.
But
Which is
everybody
not
that
enough.
leave-
Which is not enough for me personally to do all this. So why is it enough for these rich kids? Also, a little
And
bit of
also-
suspension of disbelief.
Based on Fuck Island rules, it's only one person
It's not
gets
called
to
Fuck Island.
Too Hot to Handle. That's the name of the show that I'm referring to.
Jesus
but where
Christ,
it's like,
Fuck
oh,
Island.
the person who makes the most drastic change in their life, you're going to be the one that gets the money. And it's like, but then you've also got these characters that are very obviously like just fully against change. And it's like, they're like, oh, but I'm going to win. And it's like, how?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not going to change. And it's like, okay, then you're not going to win. Like, you win by changing, by becoming a better person. And it's like, it's the weirdest concept for how to win a show, which I kind of like, I kind of dislike, because it's like, the whole premise is like, oh, you've got to build team. But then the whole time it's like, oh, but also like fucking beat the other people.
Yeah, it's got this, it like very early on is letting you know that like one person's going to win it all, right? Like,
I didn't understand. I feel like that. Okay, maybe I'm just stupid. I thought like they were all gonna win 50,000.
No, you're wrong. No, you're wrong in the sense that
I thought that.
No, Franny, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it wasn't very clear,
right?
Yeah.
Because when I watched it, that was my first takeaway, and then I thought about it more. I was like, that's not really like.
I was like, that's a lot of money for.
Well, that's a lot. 50,000 people per. They splitting because if they're splitting it between them and the rich kids like that, they're like, oh, I'm not gonna fucking shit in a box for $5,000.
Yeah.
Right.
They're like, I can just yell at my mom and say she didn't raise me right, and she'll give me $5,000. Like, that's generally their thought processes. So it's like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. Mm-hmm. But when I found out it was one person winning 50,000, then it kind of tumbles the other way. It's like a fight between all of them in a sense. But
you're supposed to be trying to teach them team building.
If other people leave, that takes from the money pot.
Yeah.
So like you kind of want but it's kind of teaching you to like backstab people in a way. Like,
I know exactly. It's a shit show.
Better than them.
It's a total snowflake shit
as
show.
far as like just the
shit show
intro,
mountain.
Yeah, as far as like the intro goes, it literally goes like, hey, here's all these kids. We parent trapped them into coming out to the woods with us. Now we're gonna tell them like, hey, you can earn money if you learn to be a good person, but not too good of a person because you got to be ready to fuck over these other people.
Now we're trashing it pretty aggressively, but I just want to mention some positive things because it's not all bad. In fact, there's a lot of it that I quite liked. And just the overall kookiness of these people. Like, I love the British guy. I love
Liam.
And I forgot her name already again. Deandra. Oh, Deandra, dude. Deandra. Anyway, I love those characters, and I think I hate Devin. Franny likes Devin. I don't know why. I think Devin is
we can
the
get
scum of the earth.
More into that shit.
But my point is that these characters, even though they're on face supposed to be unlikable, there are times where you just root for them. And I think that maybe plays into how the show's structured, or it's just as simple as the fact that like they're being put in this harsh situation and you're seeing them rise to the occasion, and that's something that can inspire people. So it's not all negative. I'm not going to sit here and be like, this show is just bad through, but like, dude.
So before we get too far into any more, like, I feel like we're starting to run out of stuff to talk about as far as just general.
Well, I was gonna say in a set. Let's just give our scores for the pilot.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, for me, the pilot. You know what? Let's end with me, Franny. The pilot.
The pilot, I liked it. I felt like it was a little unclear looking back at it. I would give it like a 7, but I definitely watched it.
And you'd continue to watch.
Yeah.
And you did.
I did. I watched the whole thing.
And Zane, for you.
So I would give the pilot 4.5, maybe a 5. I'll go ahead and I'll give it a 5, and I would not continue watching it based solely on the pilot. I did, however, continue to watch it because Netflix auto played it, and I was like, I'm not gonna turn it off.
What a load of shit. What a load of shit, dog. You watched that shit. You finished the whole show.
I enjoyed the show.
This video was your idea.
I watched the show, and I did enjoy the show.
Then you can't say based on the pilot you wouldn't watch, because you did.
Based on the pilot, I would not. Me and Lacey were watching it together. She wanted to continue watching. I wasn't going to turn it off.
Important lesson for everyone here. Actions speak louder than words. And my actions reflect my feelings perfectly. I gave it a 2.5. I'll give it a half. 2.5.
You think 20?
And no, I said 2.5. And are you saying 20.5? No, I'm just 20. So 2.5. And I would never watch the show again. No. Now, Franny loved it. And so as a result, I watched some of it kind of through osmosis, leaving the room, you know, just loving my Franny, seeing her when I can, even if it's watching Snowflake Mountain. And like, I actually like some of the later scenes more, and we'll get into some of those. Like, I have a bit of knowledge, especially over one particular scene that I thought was like choice as fuck. But even then, even with those scenes in mind, even with me having watched a little bit further just by accident, actually by accident, not like Zane who fucking marathoned the whole thing and pretended like he didn't like it, I would not recommend this. And that's just because
it was so good.
That's just because I am it's very hard for me to strike on a reality show and be like, watch this, because for me, it's got to be really good or really bad. And I think that this is kind of in the middle, because there's parts of it I really like, and then there's parts of it where I'm like, yeah, I'd rather be drinking bleach right now. So it really kind of is up in the air. Anyway, let's get into the spoilers. Let's talk more about the whole show as a whole. So we'll be right back. Welcome back, Snowflakes and Kid Nation people alike. I think Lacey has something to say to us, and she didn't get the chance to before I cut to that break. So Lacey, please tell us your thoughts.
Hi, it's producer Lacey.
Producer Lacey. Hit the cheers button.
I, as a child, growing up, watched Kid Nation.
Oh my god, that's so fucking
And
nuts to me.
I wanted to be on the show. I loved it as a kid.
Even
I'm like,
while
I want to do
watching
it.
it?
Yeah.
Dude,
I
yeah,
thought it was great.
Like
The
you
first
see these
couple
kids
episodes
eating raw
drop.
chicken, and like you're like, I'm in.
I don't know what it
So,
was about it.
I
I want to do it. But as an adult, I see how problematic that show was, and I get why it was canceled.
There's a
But
great interview out there.
I would have done it.
There's a great interview out there with the kid who went home
In
first.
JonTron?
Yeah, on JonTron. Yes, exactly. And he just talked about how like the kids that were really small, they would just like sneak them food and snacks because they were worried these kids were gonna die from malnourishment. And Lacey's like, "Let's go!"
Bro.
As a kid, I was like, I want to do it.
Lacey, I love that.
Every time at dinner or
I
whatever,
wish you would've
like,
won
it was
Kid Nation.
constantly, like,
I mean, there wasn't a second season, so
no.
Good thing though.
I
Yeah,
know,
no,
I
it's
get it.
fucking
It was problematic.
Mad problematic.
I mean, bro.
But I remember being a kid sitting at the dinner table, like my sister and mom would always be watching like Amazing Race or something or Survivor, and then fucking the first few episodes of Kid Nation dropped, and I was hyped for it. I was like, Mom, can I sign up for the next season of Kid Nation? Like, I was totally about it too. It was, but yeah, it was definitely fucked.
That's insane.
The
I don't remember
amount
this.
of children who cry in the pilot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking insane. They're all dehydrated
But
by
it was
the end of
kids
it.
like us.
They all look like SpongeBob and Patrick at the end of the
kids like
SpongeBob
us.
movie. They're like,
I think
they've
that you're-
cried out all the water in their fucking
You don't
bodies.
understand the excitement because you watched it later on in life. You watched it in like your
There would have,
20s.
if it involved physical activity as a child, there would have been fucking zero excitement, okay? We didn't even do a reality show and we had the chance as full-grown adults.
Fair.
Hello. Anyway.
I mean, if I would have gotten there, like, I probably would have cried too. But like, I
Aw,
wanted
poor
to
little
do
Lacey
it. I
just
wanted
crying
to
her
do
eyes out.
it. I was like, yes, I can be the mayor of this make believe like town.
You're like, I
I
wanna-
feel like you could have.
You're like,
yeah.
Mom, Dad, I want to go be a frontier on TV. And they're like, what the fuck?
I think I would have wanted to just to get out of my
That being
house.
said, producer Lacey grew up in the country. They were like, you could be a
You were,
frontier
probably,
out
you
there.
were probably watching this like all these fucking snowflakes
Yeah.
on this
Oh,
mountain.
this show?
No,
or
Kid Nation. You were like, these
I don't-
Kid Nation kids are snowflakes. They're all crying. You're like, I'm from the country. I could fucking cook the shit out of that chicken, collect gold.
I mean, I would have tried. I would have tried. I would give it my best effort.
I believe the hell out of that. I do. I believe it. Anyway, Snowflake Mountain, guys. I think we should get back to that. This is not necessarily a Kid Nation
Snowflake
review.
Mountain is easier than Kid Nation.
Without question.
Like,
so much easier.
And
Yeah.
I trust
Way
the kids in
easier.
Kid Nation more to like,
And like these are
be
like
stuck on an island with.
25-year-olds. Like they're not kids.
They're
They're
adults.
adults.
That's what was
The youngest one turns 20.
the blonde guy's name. His
Randy?
name was it Randy?
Yeah.
Randy. And you were like, oh, you know what? I kind of like the blonde guy. Fucking Sir Cringe. Literally desperately obsessed with Devin, who the
He's
whole
nice.
time is being
But okay, but here's the
the
thing.
biggest
it
bitch.
could be scripted.
Honest question though, if the other girl from Ohio hadn't, because there was like the definitive like two hot girls that they threw
Yeah.
in the show, not knowing that one of them would be like, peace out.
Yeah.
My question is, do you think he would have been as hard on Devin if that other chick would have been there?
No. No,
Or do you think he would have gone with the easier one to talk to?
Devin's
he was
the youngest one out of them all, so I give her a little like.
I give her a slight pass on being fucking so ridiculous sometimes, because like she'll do the most petty shit, and then she's like, "Why is everybody mad at me?"
No,
and
I'm
it's
actually on her side. It seems like her obsession with him, or like his obsession with her
is
was
fucked.
like out of
Like, no,
nowhere, and it's like it's just because
And, like,
she's pretty.
done nothing but reject him.
yeah, the whole
it's
time,
like he's
the
so
whole time
into her.
she's like,
It's so funny. I love
It's
it.
so obvious to you that she's rejecting.
Yeah,
him.
and
like
it's-
there's no
It's very-
question.
she's like, I don't
It's
know.
almost
I
like-
saw the scene where he like tried to like ask her to like hang out with him, and she was like, or go to dinner. And she's like, yeah, probably not. Like essentially,
yeah, it's,
It got worse than that.
I haven't seen
it's
it all, so I wouldn't know.
incel levels of like denial when he's like, I think she's pretty into me. Like, no, dude, she's absolutely the fuck not. Sorry, I didn't
It's
mean
okay.
to fucking passionate over here. No,
But no, you're right. Oh my God, when he tries to kiss her,
he's like, I think that she's like, we're sitting there in the hot tub after everybody's like, oh, are you guys really into it? And she's like, guys, please, like, I'm super not.
He
into
tries
it.
to kiss her?
And yeah, they're like sitting
There
in the
has
hot
to
tub
be an
after
appropriate
the
soundbite to that
entire-
information,
Dude,
right?
it's like you're
Like what?
As soon as he like they're sitting there in the thing and he looks at the camera and he's like, so I look over and I'm thinking that she's wanting to kiss and I'm like, and it's like, motherfucker, she does not want to kiss you. Like she does
Yeah.
not. and-
That's
and,
very-
like,
that's
he
apparent to even me.
He leans in and she goes, "What are you?" No, and he's like, "Oh."
yeah, and then they're just
It's
in the
just
hot
the
tub, and then they
cringiest
just
shit.
get out of the hot tub.
And you're
All
over
right.
here, you're like, those are two of my favorites. Like,
I
don't
feel bad for
I don't
them.
hold him being creepy against Devin, but Devin was also very problematic. Like she did a lot of
Very
other
young.
shit. And yeah, I'll give
And
her a
they
pass on
haven't had
being
a lot
young,
of-
but
They haven't had a lot of character development.
but then you also go through and you're like, man, I really don't like Sonny. And it's like literally
Well,
the
I
whole
didn't like him at first for
the
a long
first
time.
episode,
I liked
he's
him
like-
by the end of it.
the first
but-
episode, he's like, I don't know that I want to be here anymore. Which, like, fair. They didn't know that they were going to be there. And then, like,
Wait, are you
second or
talking about
third-
the guy who's like, I
He's
don't,
got the long hair.
I don't like that guy either. That just seems like a fucking
Aw.
douche.
Dude,
I
like,
He gets a way
by
better
episode
by the end.
3.
Oh, okay. Well, I only
he's
saw the
doing-
pilot.
Episode 3, he's being, like, super cool. He's befriending everybody. He's just, like, being just generically a good guy.
All right, so I had a question in regards to the show because you guys went deep and I just didn't do that. Franny, you gonna wake up today? I see you just dying over there.
I just need some water.
Okay, so the question is, you see all of these challenges, the severity with them, you know, some of them pretty light, some of them pretty harsh. What's the one challenge you saw displayed on this show that you don't even think you could do, if there is one? Because for me, right off the top, the whole thing. Like, I'm not interested
Oh my
in doing
God,
any
you're
of this.
ridiculous.
For 50
You're
grand,
ridiculous.
for 50 grand, you want me to embarrass myself on television forever?
I
And-
would do it.
We
would
know
do
you
too.
do it, Miss Kid Nation. No one's asking you right now.
I would do it.
I'm just kidding. We know you do
I
it,
have an
though.
opinion about which one would be the hardest.
Okay, which one would be the hardest?
I feel like, for me personally, I'm such an animal lover. Like, skinning a deer would be very
They skinned a
intimidating.
deer? Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But I
it's-
feel like I would do it. I mean,
it's
like,
almost a fully processed
do it,
deer
but that would be
they
hard.
just have to, like, finish processing.
that'd probably be the hardest part for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that either.
But I would do it.
She's like,
Yeah,
'cause I wanted
so,
to,
yeah.
she's like, because I wanted to be on Kid Nation. I didn't get the chance, so now I'm hanging out with a bunch of adults that act like children, and I'm gonna do all these things.
I could pretend and then, like,
I would
actually
love to see
show
you
up,
act
and
like
then-
a fucking privilege. Like that would.
Oh man, that would be
Wow.
hard for me. I'm not.
I
an
know.
actor
You're
or
just so
actress of-
aw shucks about everything.
Yeah.
You're like, well, but you have to be mean to these people. I couldn't see it. I really couldn't.
No, so that's the processing of the deer. That's to show them, like, hey, you've got to see where your food comes from and how to, like.
But how does that pertain
there's
to the vegan
literally-
chick?
So
Yeah, so she's there
so
and
they're
she
like,
leaves.
the challenge is like, hey, okay, so to see how to do this, like, you guys need to learn how to, like, process your own meat and go through, and, like, they've got this deer strung up, and she's like, I'm vegan, no, and then she fucks right off.
But that's also like bad on them. Like
And
she could have been doing the other challenge because there was
Yeah.
two challenges.
Yeah, there were two
going on at
challenges. I
once,
don't
two
know why
different
she got
groups.
sent with that
She
group.
got sent with that one. Like she could have done the other
And
one.
even there's like a point where they're like, she's vegan, and it's like, Yeah, dude. So just like send her to other groups, send her to non like animal cutting up related challenges.
The other one was
So it's
like swimming to something.
Yeah, it was like swimming and gathering. Or no, that was
That was
it
the
cutting
pilot.
down
Thank
tree.
you. I saw that one.
It was the cutting
swimming.
down
Oh, it
the
was the
tree.
cutting
That
down
was
the
the other
tree,
thing.
yeah.
It's like send the vegan chick to go cut down the tree, and then send
Right.
one of the other people to like go like break down the deer.
Fuck with that deer.
Which also the greatest fucking line in the show where what's his name? He's got the dickhead guy who like
He's got a
steals
dick.
the food.
What?
Solomon?
Solomon.
He's shaped like
yeah.
a penis.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
So Solomon has like a point where he's like, oh, I'm going to win these challenges because I'm going to win the most challenges and then I'm going to get the money, but I don't have to change because fuck you. And it's like, bro, the whole point is to change.
Right. They
Is
don't
that the-
care
is that
how
the
many
guy that's
challenges
shoving
people
marshmallows
won
in his
the end.
pants?
Yeah, it's that dude. But he goes through and he's like, oh, I'm going to win all these challenges. And it's like, it's not really a challenge. It's just they're trying to get you to step out of your comfort zone. But he's the first one to step up to the deer. Everybody else is like, oh my God, that's a dead deer. And it's like, okay, calm the fuck down. People eat venison all the time, but whatever. Like I've processed a deer.
Yeah,
but,
sometimes they put them in tacos and don't tell people.
but so like he's all
Zane
gung
did that
ho.
once.
He's like, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start processing this deer. And then partway through the processing, he goes like, they're like, okay, now we're gonna go through here. We're gonna take this saw and we're gonna like get the ribs so that we can go ahead and we can make a rib plate tonight. And he goes, wait, we're gonna make a rib plate with the rib. Wait, ribs are ribs. And I'm
They
like,
have one of those.
I'm like, oh my God.
Insane.
I'm like, oh my God. Like, this motherfucker just figured out that pickles don't grow on trees. Like,
Shut
that's...
the fuck
Jesus
up
Christ.
right
It's
now.
bad. I was just thinking.
I
wouldn't have said anything.
Zane, you know the appropriate soundbite. Actually, no, it's bruh. Clearly,
Bruh.
like pickles grow on trees, bruh.
No, it was...
Ribs come from ribs.
Yeah, it
Bruh.
was like, oh, hey, they're made on how it's made. They're making pickles. You can't trick me. They don't make pickles. Pickles are grown. And I'm just looking at Franny. Bruh. And Logan he's just like, please don't do that. Don't do this to me. And she's like, you
To
guys
be
can't
fair,
trick
this
me.
was a lot of years ago. I've known these people a while.
But
It
no,
was like
they
one
had
of the
they,
first times I had met you, Franny.
Yeah.
they had like one of those
Just so
moments,
you know.
and it was
I
pretty
love
great.
It. I love it. It's great. We
So-
all have our moments.
Not much.
It's
change.
shit like that I
This
was
is
like,
starting
this
to
is
feel like a little
entertaining.
bit of inside baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like we're kind of
But no,
playing
so
to no base whatsoever.
also with the deer processing, we get to meet a spicy someone on the
Oh, cat.
Cat,
Yeah.
survival expert Cat coming in there with a fucking literally the first
Looking
time
like
they see her.
Pocahontas.
Yeah,
she
she
looks
looking
great. I wish I could be Cat. Like,
looking like
damn.
a goddess sitting there with the machete and the fucking deer carcass, and she's like, "We're gonna process this," and all the guys are like, "Okay." It's the most ridiculous shit ever, and it's like this is good television.
when I
That's
hear
what
that out
is.
of context, it screams scripted to me. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm
It
just saying.
doesn't feel scripted. This
It
show does
doesn't-
not feel scripted.
There are parts that feel hammed up, but
Yeah.
none of it
Not
feels
scripted.
scripted.
I guess one day we'll find out.
Yeah.
You know, they always disclose. It's like CIA secrets. Eventually, we'll find out if
Exactly,
the shit
yeah.
was real or not.
Did Cat show up in the second episode?
I think it was the second episode that they
She
broke
made
it down.
me watch the rest of that show.
Yeah.
If it was the second or third, like I was like, yeah, this is awesome now.
Yeah, because she came through and like she was just absolutely fucking rock starring everything. But Fran, what was your favorite?
I loved all of it so much. I really liked when Matt and Joel got on them about like cleaning up their camp.
Yeah, and they
For
had
having
that
a
little
fucking
montage where
disgusting
they're
camp, and Randy had a goddamn rat in his tent.
Bro.
His tent was
Which
so
one's Randy
disgusting.
again?
Randy's the one that
The blonde one from
blonde
Florida.
cringy guy who kept trying to like,
Yeah,
like
that
he
trying
had
to
rats.
Devin are totally gonna work.
He does
Like,
have Ron
ugh.
Stoppable energy.
Yeah.
That was disgusting.
Ron Stoppable is at least lovable. This dude is just fucking the definition of cringy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just
And
like,
then their kitchen too. Oh my god, ugh. It was disgusting. They did have a character like a new campmate, I guess,
Yeah,
come in
Fran-
with my name.
yeah, Francesca came on in there. They were like,
I thought that was weird for them to do. I was like, oh, if you're gonna do that, you should have brought in a couple more.
Halfway through.
Yeah.
So she
Wait, was she hot?
Yeah.
That was because they lost the hot girl in the beginning.
exactly. That's exactly the
lame.
fucking reason.
Dead ass
That's so
certain.
lame. Yeah, like she didn't even go through everything that they had to do.
And then they're like, I wonder if Francesca's gonna win, and it's like she's fucking not. She's been here for 3 minutes.
Right. It
Yeah.
felt weird.
It was
so close
just
to the end.
they were just adding a hot girl. It felt
Because
now,
they lost one. That's what it was. They lost
One
the
of the
hot girl really
things-
early.
I do want to point out, I did really enjoy the essence of the Last Chance Lake thing, because that's like it broke Solomon, but it like totally reinvented Deandra.
Yeah,
and then
it did.
And then when Randy and Devin got sent out there, they had their cringe moments where Randy was trying to, but for the most part, like, they went out there and they're like, actually, it was the best sleep that I had. Like, we just slept under the stars. Because they're like, oh, you're going to go to Last Chance Lake and you're going to, like, instead of these tents, we're going to give you pretty much still a full tent. It was like, basically they like stacked sticks to go ahead, give it a support. Then they had put a tarp and then they had put grass on it to make it look less nice. And they were like, oh darn, it's so, but they still had like a tarp underneath. They still had like a tarp over, and it's basically like you just had to sleep under the stars. And it was like, that just sounds lovely. And the second people, they only use it like twice.
Yeah.
And the second people that they do it to, they're like, actually, it's kind of just fucking beautiful. Like, we just sat there and like looked up at the stars. And
it was kind of cute too, because they're kind of into each other.
But they weren't. That's the fucking thing. They are like very adamantly not. Franny's trying to push this relationship, and the whole time, Devin, the one that you're like, I actually like Devin, even though fucking why? But she's like, I absolutely do not like this guy. Everybody on the camp is like, hey, you guys should totally get together, and she's like, please stop trying to push that. Like, I don't want that. And then she's over here like,
he keeps rats. I'm really not fucking interested.
He keeps rats, and he's really cringy, and he tries to kiss me when I don't want him to. And like, it's aggressively awkward and creepy. And like, there are points where I'm like, she can't feel safe. Like, there's like, he's being really creepy at some points. And she's like, you can see in her face, she's like, and like, everybody's trying to be like, oh, like, hey, like, Devin, do you see like during the tree challenge where
everybody's talking about Randy's
everybody's talking about his dick and everything, and they're like, hey, Devin, check out big dick, and she's like, guys, like, he's really fucking creeping me out.
And she's like, my mom's gonna watch this, guys.
Yeah. She tries to play it off like, oh, my mom's gonna be watching this, that's why I can't. But she's 19, 20 years old. She doesn't know how to properly like express like, I'm scared to not be friendly to this creepy guy who keeps making advances.
I don't know, he didn't seem that creepy for real.
It might not have seemed creepy, but there were just multiple,
like, more awkward, if anything.
Yeah,
but I get what you're saying. Like, he did push a line.
Yeah.
And cross said line, I'd say.
And she was just like legit, she kept trying to go like, I just want to be friends. Like, I don't like you like that at all. But the entire time everybody's like, what a cute couple. And it's like, but they're not. But no, so they did have a nice little like friend moment at Last Chance Lake, but like he still spent the entire time being like creepy, awkward, and unaware.
Probably, yeah. That's a good
now,
point.
Logie, I know that you did tune in for just a hot second.
Yeah,
and you've got a favorite.
I saw the British dude making fire. That was cool. He was good at it. He was like twiddling those little sticks, and the dude was getting annoyed. And I was like, "Don't be such a pussy." Because this dude's trying to help you start a fire.
We haven't talked about the last episode part, like their last challenge.
Well, I was going to get to that after. I know that you've got strong feelings about that tree.
The tree? Oh, you mean the one that she was climbing, and I want to be said tree?
Yeah.
That. There you go. There it is. Deandra.
I say Deandra was just cutting up the whole fucking time. She's literally, I don't think there was an episode where she didn't make me laugh.
I love Matt.
Yeah,
and
no,
Joel.
she was great. Definitely my favorite
I love
character.
Matt and Joel's reactions to her and Ray. Always, they
Yeah.
just did not know what to make of either of them.
Yeah, no.
I know. I just want to be friends with them, though. To be real, like Deandra, Liam, and Ray, like they are just.
You know who I don't want to be friends with? The guys who ran the camp. They just, yet again, I have to energize the amount of cop
they
energy.
have more redeemable moments.
Yeah,
later
they
on.
were-
They
weren't that
do have
bad
their more
for who
human
they are.
moments. I feel like the more that there were points in time where it felt like the producers had told them like, hey, you're really going to need to kind of be almost a little like more of a dick so that like it feels like, oh, you got like, we're really going to force you to change. But then they would also be like, hey guys, like you guys had a rough time of it. We're going to make you breakfast this morning. Like you guys, we saw you did really good. I think we're just gonna go ahead and cook this up for you. Hey, leading into the last little thing that they do right before they go into the last challenge, they're like, hey, everybody, like, come on over to the lake house. We're just gonna have like a nice barbecue. We're gonna give you some beers. We're gonna give you some like burgers, ribs. They even like as soon as they learned that Devin was vegan, you could see they like specially were handing her specific vegan based meals, and it was like they just went through and they were being chill, and the whole time they were actively
Sorry, I'm laughing. I just keep looking over and seeing Franny's eyes
just glazed
wired
over.
shut.
Yeah.
Wired shut. Franny, hello?
Hello.
We are filming late, so
Yeah.
it
Sorry.
is late at night.
Give her a
no.
pass on that
She
one.
slept the entire day before this shoot. I don't even want to hear it. Literally the whole day.
But no, I liked this, and actually, everybody here watched this on my recommendation.
That's
so.
true. That's
We
It's
true.
not
did.
that we watched
We
it on your
did.
recommendation.
No,
it
watched
was
it on my recommendation.
on when we left
It was
after
on,
recording
and then I'm
another
like,
time.
huh, that seemed kind of interesting.
And
I'm
I
gonna turn it on.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And I
really
watched
good.
it like the next day.
It was so good. I loved it. It was. I just turned it on for background noise, and then I ended up getting hooked and actually like paying attention and watching it.
I have to be honest, you guys are so into it, and that's great. And I appreciate anybody who's into anything like this much. That's cool. You guys had
Yeah.
fun with it. There's no fucking way you could pay me to watch more of this. And
my
I'm
God.
just being honest. It's not meant to be like there's anything wrong with it. It's the kind of media that I consume. But I can just tell by how much fun you guys are having talking about it that clearly it improves, and that's a good thing. And that people had fun with it. That's all that matters.
I feel like this is a nice middle ground between for Netflix, which they've got a couple decent reality shows.
Like I liked The Circle's
that-
first season. I watched the whole
The
thing.
Circle.
Love all
The
The
Circle has been like every season that's dropped. I absolutely adore.
Love it.
Yeah. So
Hardcore.
that one
I
is
only
like
watched
the,
season one.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
we
it's so
finished
good.
season one.
Yeah.
We were super into it. We
it's
loved it.
The Circle's really good, but then on the other end you've got like pure trash, like Fuck Island, Too Hot to Handle.
You have to quit
where
calling
it's-
it Fuck Island.
It's literally every time you fuck or something, you lose money from the pot, and the people who like become the less fucking like
I
just
think you're just digressing.
horn
though.
dogs, like they win the money. Like it's a nice middle. Snowflake Mountain is a nice middle ground between those two,
Okay.
where they did a decent job, but it's still a lot trashier than most of the reality shows that I would ever really actively seek out. Like if they drop a second season, I'm not watching the second season.
I feel like Franny had like 8 opportunities to press that purple button, but she's on a slow delay here. So
2 hours later.
there we go. So what I was gonna say is, okay, so clearly you guys are into the show. You guys think it's at minimum very entertaining, even for any sort of gripes or anything people have with it. So you got to know all of these characters, Total Drama Island style.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
who is the character that you wish would have won? And also, can you tell me who the fuck actually wins? Because there is literally no chance I will ever watch this. I'm just being honest. We watch too much shit just for this show. So any spare time I have to watch something is not spent on Snowflake Mountain. I'm not hating. I'm just laughing because it's so silly to me.
You know your favorite girl? She may or may not have won.
Really?
Really?
Oh,
Deandra. She took it home.
Deandra took home
she
the gold.
deserved it. Like
Yeah.
she deserved it alone for being the most entertaining. that alone. But also the episodes where I drop in, it seemed like she was like fucking going for it, like every single time. And I'm like, that's because she's got bad bitch energy.
She didn't start out that way. She goes to Last Chance Lake and then just totally fucking turns it around.
Yeah.
And she like just becomes a rock star from that point on. But my one that like I loved Sonny. Like Sonny was like he was so kind of played down most of the time because he was just kind of like he was just being a team player, helping out wherever he could, and just making friends and like just because the first
they make him look like such a fucking asshole.
The first
in the pilot, they literally go, his mother's like, he's out of control, but I can't control him because his father ran out on him. It's like, what?
Yeah, the first episode, he's like all upset, and he's like 100% I'm not gonna be here tomorrow, and then he fucking sticks it out through the whole thing, and he's just like he just becomes a good person, and like
how does he eventually fail? Is he like what is the reason why he didn't win versus everybody else?
So he was actually in the final 3.
How did they come to the final 3? I don't even understand. What's the people just leave, or did they just kick motherfuckers out Survivor style?
No. So basically it's at any point in time you can choose to leave. If you leave, $5,000 will be taken from the pot, and then whoever has grown the most will win the pot. But so the final 3, the people who are in the running to potentially win it, the 2, Matt and Joel, pick them out. They go ahead. They say, like, these are the 3 people that we've seen the most growth out of. And then like, they camp step off, and then the campers go through, and they pick out of those 3 who they think grew the most, who, like, developed the most as a person and won.
Liam, right?
Liam, Sonny, and Deandra.
And I was surprised Liam was 3rd.
He showed up at that last challenge.
Yeah, I just thought
especially what was his name? Carl.
Is Liam the British guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so the 2 that I liked the most, and apparently the guy who was misrepresented, are the 3 in the finale.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Well, then I would have been remotely pleased with the finale, I think.
Yeah. And that's,
But Carl, I just want to say this. I feel so bad for him. That last challenge, he literally popped his knee out of place and his shoulder out. It was intense.
Yeah.
Like, he may not have...
You know what I just realized?
But it was wild.
We never even... I asked everybody what thing they wouldn't do, and I got Lacey's answer. Nobody else's. Not a soul.
Franny, what would you not do?
Ooh.
What could you not do? That's a better answer.
I don't know if there's anything I couldn't do on that for
All right,
real.
then which one would you not do for money?
I don't know. I'm pretty good at like mind over matter, shutting off and just doing the thing.
Horseshit.
Bullshit.
Horseshit.
Better than you at it, bitch.
Well, I'm not trying to go to fucking Snowflake Mountain, all right? I'm honestly shocked that anybody would do it at all.
See, my
for 50
thing,
grand to embarrass yourself so publicly.
Tribute.
I'm over here.
We know, Kid Nation, all right? Jesus. They hear you in the front row. We get it. If anybody's looking, they're coming straight for you. We understand.
I'm over here. I cannot. Like, there's none of the challenges that I wouldn't do because I've already done all of those. Like, climb a tree, break a board, fucking cut down a tree, process a deer, hike a mountain.
How long did they live? How long did they live there?
I think like
6
2
weeks.
Could you
6 weeks?
Yeah.
Could you do that for 6 weeks?
Could I hang out in the beautiful countryside for 6 weeks?
I'm just asking.
Absolutely.
No one's accusing you of not being able to.
Like, I love hiking. I love camping. I love a bunch of that shit. So like every challenge that they come up, I'm like, that seems like a lot of fun. Like I want to go.
The only thing I'm not great at, but I'd still do is like rock climbing parts of it. Like I can hike, but like when it gets super intense, I'm not great at it because I'm not very coordinated.
I love it.
But I'll still try. I'll still do it.
Give it the good. I believe that. I meant more. You're so cleanly, like to a certain extent, that I think that the problem for you, Franny, would be some of the living conditions.
Running water.
I've had you yell at me over like a can of empty soda.
I absolutely cannot handle other people being messy.
Well, that's a part of the challenge. Is not dealing with other people.
I would be the bitchy one that would be like, everybody has to pull their weight or shit's gonna get fucked up.
You're like, or I'm gonna fuck shit up.
Yes, exactly.
I think probably the one thing would be doing my own dishes. I'm so fucking bad about that. Like, I would cook for literally everybody the whole time as long as I just had somebody to clean up after me, because I'm so bad about doing.
Oh my god, they're gonna the people who produce Snowflake Mountain are gonna watch this and cast all of us.
Yeah.
They're like, these people talk so much shit. This dude can't
Like,
fucking do a dish. The
yeah.
other one can't handle any mess. The dude at the end is afraid to even go,
I
and
hate
Lacey's
bugs.
begging to go.
No, I hate bugs. That would be my downfall. Is
Yeah.
I hate bugs. There would be bugs everywhere.
Don't
and
tell
I would
Dwight.
be very upset.
Oh, if I saw a rat, that would be the end too.
Nah, the
Don't
rat's
tell
okay.
Mila.
A snake, me. But the bugs is what
I
would
don't
get
mind
me.
snakes. I don't really mind bugs.
Don't mind snakes. What
Well, like,
the fuck is wrong?
As
with
long as they're not the poisonous, venomous
yeah,
kind.
if I can stay away from them, I'm cool.
So, who did you, other than Deandra, who would you have liked
Liam,
to
I
have seen
liked
win?
Liam. I feel like he.
Those
came
are the
a
two
long
I
way.
liked the most. Deandra and
So
Liam.
literally, yeah, it was we just picked the main three.
Liam, not to get canceled, literally reminded me of somebody we used to know.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like exactly like
Producer
somebody we used to
Lacey,
know.
who would you have liked to see win?
Well, she said justice for what was it, Carl?
Yeah, but I don't think he grew
But he
enough.
kind of had a
Mm-hmm.
he
I
had
just
a
felt really
fit
bad for
breakdown
him.
at the
yeah,
end.
Yeah, he grew a lot from that breakdown at the end, I think. But I wish
It really hurt him.
I wish that wouldn't have been like
The knee thing probably
outcome.
really hurt.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But no, I really wanted either Deandra or Ray to win.
Okay.
I like them. I
Okay.
think the most. Vibe
Who
with
was
them.
Ray?
The British girl.
The British girl. She was the
Oh
the
yeah.
other-
Yeah.
I liked her too. I did. I liked when I watched a part where she tried to approach the dude who stole shit and just like have a conversation with him. He's like, actually, fuck you. Like, I remember that.
Yeah, and he's like, take your fucking plate.
Yeah, take the plate, get the fuck out of my face. And I was just like, this dude's an asshole. Fuck
Yeah.
this guy.
Which also he has the fucking greatest logic
What
in
episode was
history.
that? How weird is my amalgamation
No,
of knowledge?
it was like episode 3 or something.
Oh, okay.
Where, because like he does that, and then episode 2 he goes up to Devin and he's like, "I'm gonna try to get some fuck on with Devin because she's the last hot girl." And he's like, "Hey girl, I got you vegan chocolate," and she's like, "What?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I stole this," and she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Don't tell nobody," and she's like, "What?" And it's just like, why would you think that would ever work out for you? But yeah, no, it was definitely an interesting watch.
wow.
Yeah, it absolutely did not work out.
So
well
you
for
guys
him.
probably did not want him to win the most, right?
No,
No, he
sucked.
fucking dipped.
So he's like
Real-
the survivor villain. Do you think
Yeah.
if they do another season, they might bring some of these people back to like
No.
get a second chance? Why not? I mean, you
They've
said
already had their
you said
character
yourself
arcs.
that some of them hadn't had
No,
any growth.
it would put
They
them
had
at
their
such an
chance.
advantage.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I'm just curious because a lot of times when they have such large personalities,
Well, and also at
they'll
the
try
end,
to reincorporate these people.
at the end they show them do like, it's like, here they are a few months later. This is how they're growing from this experience. So they've had their time in the limelight.
All right, and so have we, I feel. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add? Anything extra? Producer Lacey?
I would watch a season 2.
Yeah, why not? Why not
too.
bring us if you guys enjoyed it this much and I hear that it's just been blowing up everywhere, make the season 2. Why not? So we're about to go play a little bit of a game, I guess you'd say. We're gonna, I don't know, man. Things are
Compete
gonna
in one of the challenges.
Yeah, we're gonna see how snowflakey all of us are, as well as maybe some kung fu fighting will be involved. I'm not sure. But we'll be right back, guys. Well, howdy doody, snowflakes. Today, we're going to be doing a little something different. We're going to be doing a game kind of based around the show we're talking about. So in the show, they have to do all these different, competitions, trials, and everything to show that they're growing as people. And one of the things they do is they break boards. So we're kind of going to have a weird setup, and we're going to try to fucking break some boards today. We'll see what happens. Let's go.
Okay. So you're going to want to hold that out a little bit further, kind of like that.
All right.
Get a nice solid hold on it. And then whenever you go to strike, you're going to want to kind of keep your fingers curled in and hit for right towards that middle part. So when we go through, you're going to want to kind of try to get full extension. So you actually want to check your extension, make sure that it's past where the board is at, so that whenever you go to hit it, so raise that up just a little bit, so whenever you go to hit it, just cracks right through. Okay. So.
You want me to go first?
You do it.
All right. Okay, so I need to palm my hand, right that, right?
So yeah, palm your hand. So just kind of like
the screaming E in sign language, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
E! All right.
So
I'm
going
make
to
sure
go
it's
ahead.
past my
Yeah,
point.
so make sure that it's past your point.
Okay.
And then, so now pull your palm back. Okay. And then get ready to just push right on through with a good amount of force.
Can I reel it all the way back?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Ninjutsu and shit.
Franny, you ready?
That felt good.
Yeah.
You got this, baby. I promise. You got this.
I don't know if I do.
Okay. So check.
She's got this.
Okay. Do you think that's enough?
Yep. Now pull it back. Tell me where you want it.
Like it owes you money. Like it owes you money. Oh!
Got it.
Hey guys, that was literally so much fun. We were out there karate kidding like fucking Jaden Smith all over the place. And if you guys dig content like that, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave your thoughts in the comments. And let us know if you enjoyed us doing reality TV, if you want us to do something else. If you're just overall hyped that we're reviewing more things than just movies, maybe you're more of a TV head, that content will come. And thank you so much for watching, guys. That was so much fun. And we had a great time. So thank you. Bye.